Police parade 17 suspects, rescue victims, recover firearms in Imo State. Rainstorm kills miner, destroys 50 houses in Yobe. CBN issues fresh guidelines for foreign currency deposits. And on the international scene, Nairobi mosque holds funeral of a teen shot during anti-tax protests. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I am Sumaya Abubakar. Thank you for joining us, and the details will start with security. The operatives of the anti-kidnapping attached to Imo Police Command has arrested additional suspects in connection to the gruesome murder of a divisional police officer in Mbaise a few months ago. According to the police public relations officer, ASP Henry Okoye, the confessions of the suspects arrested earlier led to the arrest of 7 others. Trust TV's Ajibade Press tells us more in this report.
The suspects being paraded were arrested at different locations in the state. Some of them were responsible for the countless attacks on security agencies in the state, including the killing of the DPO.
At the command, under the leadership of CP Aboki Danjuma, has continued to record significant achievements in the fight against crime and criminality. Today, I have before you a total of 20 suspects, largely males, arrested for various criminal offenses ranging from terrorism activities, kidnapping, and murder. And in the course of investigating the aforesaid cases, we have recovered 7 pump-action guns and other locally made guns too.
The suspect, who gave his name as Oluomachi Iheanacho, a 28-year-old native of Abombise, confessed to be a member of the outlawed group. He said he was forced into joining them when they threatened his life. For this ex-convict, repenting from crime is difficult for him because he came from a very poor background.
I know those people because they are my village. They are parading in my village.
Are you a member or not?
I'm a member, but this IPOB, but they force me with a gun. They force me join me.
When did you leave the camp?
I've been doing it. I do it 2012. Get problem and go to prison. Came back. Still continue doing it. I do it on January 2021. Still do it second one March 2021. But because of combat condition, yes, I came from poor family.
Okoye said the Commissioner of Police, CP Aboki Danjuma, is urging members of the public to assist the police with useful information that could aid crime fight in the state. Ajibade Praise, Trust TV News, Owerri.
A torrential rain accompanied by violent wind has killed a 7-year-old boy in Tsohwangarin, Nangere in Nangere local government area of Yobe State. Reports emerging from the community indicate that 20 people were seriously injured, while about 50 houses and shops were destroyed by the heavy rain. The incident occurred at about 9 a.m. this Saturday when residents were going about their daily activities. This comes as the Yobe Emergency Management Agency, in partnership with Agroclimatic Resilience in Semi-Arid Landscape, ACRESL, commenced a state-level workshop on community engagement and sensitization on flood preparedness and the development of the 2024 Emergency Preparedness and Contingency Plan. The objective of the engagement is to, among other things, share local response mechanisms, link the community-based strategy to state-level efforts, and develop a community-based emergency preparedness and contingency plan. At least 8 people have been killed after a 1-story building collapsed in the Kuntau area of Gwale local government area of Kano State. The incident occurred early Friday morning while laborers were working on the construction site. Sources from the area reported that at least 15 individuals, including the building owner, were trapped inside when the structure caved in. The owner, referred to as Sharu, was constructing the new floor to attach to his existing home. It is believed that some of the people trapped inside were not workers but those who had sought shelter from the rain. 7 people were rushed to Murtala Muhammad Specialist Hospital, but one person reportedly died on the way. A staff member of the Kano Fire Service, who pleaded anonymity, confirmed that the building trapped 15 people, with 7 fatalities reported so far. Preliminary reports suggest that the collapse was due to the use of substandard building materials. The Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, has confirmed the death of at least 14 worshippers after a trailer ran into Jumaat congregation worshippers in Kano. The accident occurred at Imawa Town, Kura local government area on the Kaduna-Kano highway shortly after Friday prayer, when the driver of the trailer coming from Kaduna lost control and ran into the worshippers. A statement signed by FRSC Public Relations Officer of the Kano Sector Command, Abdullahi Labaran, said 9 of the deceased were buried on Friday, while those injured are currently receiving treatment at a hospital. The statement said the driver of the trailer is at large. A devastating fire broke out on Wednesday night, ravaging the popular CORO market in the Federal Capital Territory and destroying goods and properties worth hundreds of millions of naira. In this report, Trust TV's Noel Sampson visits the wreckage of the once bustling market. Traders recount their immense losses amid an already challenging economic downturn. Take a look.
This is the aftermath of yet another fire disaster, one that will plunge many traders into devastation. Nearly 24 hours after the incident, smoke still lingered in the market, with flames flickering in some areas. Speaking to Johnson Ogbu and Chijokeze, traders in the popular CORO market in the Federal Capital Territory, they recounted how they discovered that shops have been consumed by the fire.
Around after 7 to 8, we have closed market already after we left. All of a sudden, they called me back. They said they are seeing smoke inside the market. Before I run to come inside the market, they could not. The security person, they could not allow anybody to enter inside the market. And the fire just burned the whole market down. So we did not remove anything, single pin we did not remove from our shops. And the whole entire market is billions of naira, because about one woman back here offloaded 2 trailers of rice just 3 days ago. The other woman offloaded 1 trailer of rice. The one is, she's hospitalized now, right now as I'm talking to you.
The security people inside the market, they prevented us from entering. So we forcefully entered. Some of us fought with the security men before we were able to allow to enter. Then when we entered, behold, even my shop, you can see this by yourself. The inside I've gotten. I don't even understand. So we are saying, some men I asked inside the market, said that they brought light. So the light sparked in one of the shops where one man is doing his own work. He's a tailor. When we were still battling with our own challenges, we heard a voice saying that the woman has already came by herself to see things by herself. She fainted. Immediately they took her to hospital. As I'm talking to you, it's not up to 20 minutes now. We receive a message that the man she has gone.
During a visit to the market, Senior Special Assistant to the President on Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, alongside with the Senator representing the FCT, offered their sympathies to the victims. The SSA assured the traders that the President is aware of the incident and is concerned about their plight.
We are here to sympathize with the people of CORO local government and their families, especially those that were affected by the fire incidents last night. The government is fully aware and cares. I've seen the situation is worse. I will take the message back. This has not affected the people of CORO only, but the country at large.
You have to be kind to each other, you have to be law-abiding, you have to have compassion for each other, because without that, and also you have to take responsibility for what is happening around you. There's no point I'm saying I'm a good citizen, I see somebody beating you and robbing you and I say it's not my concern and I walk away. No, that we all have to be each other's keepers. That is where we are in this country right now. And if we're not willing to do that, then things cannot get better.
Market flames in Nigeria have become a distressingly regular occurrence, highlighting significant gaps in infrastructure and emergency services. Since the beginning of the year, there have been numerous reports of fire incidents at various markets across the country. Noel Samson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Residents and commercial drivers in Lagos State are urging the executive chairman of Orile Agege to repair the Oke-Koto-Shofunde road, which is currently in a deplorable condition. Victoria Tokolo, who visited the area, brings more in this report.
This road is under Orile Agege local government and connects Agege local government, which leads to so many areas in the state. The road has been in a deplorable condition for years. Commercial drivers and residents of the area said security officers are using the opportunity of the bad spot of the road to extort money from motorists.
Has been bad for almost 4 years. The government tried to do it, but when it rains, it will wash the road out. And then later, those Lagos works, they will now fill it with concrete, and thereby those police now use it to extort money from motorists.
The road is very bad for a long time, less than 2 years ago. They used to put all this stone here. As soon as the rain is trouble, everything are down. The road block is very easy every day, every night, every morning. And police know to come here again and stop anybody that follow one way and arrest him. And the road is not good. The road is very bad. And the reason why the car and the motor people are following one way is because of the bad road. And because of that, police and all the other forces are taking the advantage of the road to collect money. They have gone here to ATM machine. In the night like this, we see different type of group of police all the way from Oba, Elere, Alabo, anywhere. Even RRS. They will pull here, some will park there, some will park on that street, and the rest will park on the other side of the road.
Other road users also voiced out their frustration over the hardships caused by the bad roads on their vehicles and businesses.
Talking about this road every day, even though if you will talk finish, then go carry stone, come fall, say they don't do it. But if you rain fall like this, not be small thing. Some people say if you rain fall because of this water, then go enter, rain go full everywhere. And if the road is passing, know how we go enjoy the road, but as they not do it, we cannot enjoy any, even though we are paying for tax here. We are paying everything where they tell us to pay. So I don't know why the road is never due by this time.
Yeah, this Orile Agege road, this expert, this Yanapaja road, they have been harassing us every day, like every day by day. At that junction that the road is not good, you see some policemen there, they are mufti. The only thing they do is just to give you, to show you ID card, they are a policeman. Okay, what's my offense? They said, this place you apply, you don't need to apply this place. And the other side is good. They don't want us to pass where it's good.
This situation has forced many vehicles drivers to resort to one-way routes. Commercial drivers and business operators are appealing to the local government chairman to urgently intervene and fix the road.
Moving on to health matters, the House of Representatives Committee on Health has promised to address the challenges facing the Federal Medical Center, Birnin Kudu, the FMC, and Rashid Shekoni Teaching Hospital, Dutse. The committee made the promise during its oversight visit to the federal government hospitals in Jigawa and other states. Committee Chairman Amos Gwamna commended the hospital's leadership for maintaining quality health services despite numerous challenges. The Chief Medical Director of FMC Benue Kudu, Dr. Abdullahi Atawami, presented the hospital's expansion plans, which include a new site spanning over 100 hectares. The CMD of RSTH Dutse, Mohammed Mijinyawa, who listed the hospital's challenges, including inadequate resources, limited capacity, and political interference, appealed for improved resources and support to enhance healthcare services. The committee chairman assured that they would address these challenges and work towards improving healthcare services in Jigawa State.
One of the reasons why we're here is partly to address some of the problems. There are many reasons why people are looking for greener pasture, as they call it. Some of them is not necessarily because of the remuneration. Some of them is the work environment. There are many hospitals that are like a radiographer, radiologist, maybe a surgeon working in the hospital without the necessary tools that will help him to do his work very well. So we're here to look at the gaps, especially on infrastructure, and then of course looking at the gaps in manpower. There are still many Nigerians, health workers, that are still looking for employment, and that's why we're here.
During the handover ceremony at the ministry, a list of about 943 members of staff in the nominal role is handed over, so that they can be absorbed into the federal civil service. But up to now, as I'm speaking to you, that absorption has not been effective. And so, the members of staff cannot draw their salary from the federal government.
Since I came on board over the last 2 years, we haven't received any member of the National Assembly coming to visit us on oversight function. And today we have the whole Committee of Health, actually from the National Assembly, coming to visit, and they visited us. They have seen what we've been doing. They have listened to us. They have heard our problems. We told them our problems, and they have promised actually to bring proper solutions.
Stakeholders in the nation's health sector are advocating for the upscaling of vaccination against the human papillomavirus, HPV, to reduce its impact on communities. They are also calling for increased awareness regarding the myths surrounding the disease. This effort aims to ensure that those eligible for the vaccination welcome it without fear of the unknown. The report.
The human papillomavirus, also called HPV, is a common virus spread by sexual activity. While some strains cause genital warts, others can lead to serious health problems like cervical cancer. Health experts say while the body usually fights off HPV on its own most of the time, the virus, however, lingers, potentially causing issues later in life.
We have different strains of HPV. So we have some strains which we call the low-risk strains. Those strains do not cause cancer. Those strains cause some benign lesions like warts. But we also have the high-risk strains. So for instance, you hear about things like HPV 16, HPV 18. Those are the strains that we know can cause cancers.
A whole lot of people will come in contact with the virus. However, the majority of people will deal with the virus with their own immunity. Around 90% of people will clear it. So the 10% of people who won't clear it will be due to probably poor nutrition. They probably have another disease they are dealing with which affects their immunity, like HIV, or they are taking drugs that dampen their immunity.
The Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention recommends getting the HPV vaccine for children between the age 9 and 14 years old before becoming sexually active.
The vaccines are available free as a single dose, especially in the secondary health institutions, that's general hospitals. We have about 5 or 6 within the FCT, and they are free. Now, the target is girls between the age of 9 and 14. The reason being that you want to prime their immunity before they get contact with the virus.
Unfortunately, misinformation about the HPV vaccine is widespread. The World Health Organization's Africa office estimates that about 25% of the population still has doubt. In Nigeria, health workers are battling with the unfounded rumor that the HPV vaccine will later keep young girls from giving birth.
I want to encourage parents that getting the HPV vaccine will not make children have a sexual experience earlier than they would have otherwise. HPV vaccines are not associated with infertility. We haven't seen any studies that show that.
Higher acceptance in the northern part of Nigeria, while in the southern part, specifically states like Lagos, Edo State, and a couple of states in the southeast, where we have the anti-vaxxers who came out in their numbers and made videos and circulated on social media platforms.
Stakeholders who are working on sensitizing the public on the importance of getting the HPV vaccination say it is a continuous process.
The WDCs, the religious heads, the community leaders, that is where they come in. And they have been doing a lot to be able to get the people to access these vaccines.
We're looking at a vaccine that could change the course of cancer, cervical cancer in Nigeria.
As the fight against HPV continues, experts and community leaders are calling all hands to be on deck to prevent the spread of the HPV.
In business, the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has issued fresh guidelines to deposit money banks on the deposit of foreign currency notes with the Apex Bank. This directive was contained in a circular issued by the Director of Currency Operators, Mohammed Solaja, and posted on the bank's website on Friday. CBN disclosed that each bank would be allowed a maximum deposit of $10 million threshold for $150 notes daily, saying such foreign currency deposit can only be made at the CBN branches in Abuja and Lagos. In the circular, the Apex Bank directed that DMBs must notify it in writing of its intention to make such deposit at least 3 working days before such a deposit is made. According to the Apex Bank, smaller denominations of $20 notes and below will be at a maximum of $1 million daily. Away from Nigeria, the Nairobi mosque on Friday held a funeral of 19-year-old Ibrahim Kamau after he was shot during a protest on Tuesday against the government's since-withdrawn proposed tax bill. Mourners paid their respects and carried the coffin through Nairobi's streets after the funeral service. Protesters stormed Parliament on Tuesday and drew police fire in chaos that reportedly left as many as 22 people dead. Police in Kenya's capital hurled tear gas on Thursday to break up anti-tax protesters who continued to gather despite President William Ruto's repudiation of the unpopular tax legislation that prompted deadly unrest earlier in the week. The finance legislation has drawn fierce resistance from a Kenyan republic reeling from higher costs of living, especially from younger protesters. Protesters who continued to gather on Thursday said they still don't trust Ruto, despite him sending the finance bill back to Parliament with a vow to make budget cuts to replace the proposed new taxes and fees on a range of items and services, from egg imports to bank transfers. And finally, in sports, Nigeria's Tobi Amusan has been cleared to compete at the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris. The Court of Arbitration for Sports, CAC, dismissed the appeal by the World Athletics and the World Anti-Doping Agency against the women's 100-meter hurdles world record holder. The court concurred with an earlier verdict by the World Athletics Disciplinary Tribunal that found Amusan not guilty of any anti-doping rule violations. The 28-year-old was suspended last year by the Athletics Integrity Unit for missing 3 drug tests without a 12-month period. The body sought a 2-year period of ineligibility for Amusan. The suspension was overturned by the AIU, which allowed her to run at the 2023 World Athletics Championship. And with that, we wrap up Trust News Update. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms and join our YouTube live stream for more news programs and documentaries. I am Sumaya Abubakar. Thanks for watching.